Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this entertaining, amazing, exhilarating, pulsating day 2 of Test match cricket that we've seen in
Don't be sarcastic.
Ahmedabad. No,
If it is Ravindra, Jadeja's.
On a day, I carefully chose my words. I said entertaining, exhilarating, amazing, and what else? Pulsating, because I saw 3 centurions today, and that really got the adrenaline growing.
Growing, huh?
Growing and going.
You're being sarcastic. You're being sarcastic.
And all of 50,000 people inside.
What is Jadeja's fault? What is Dhruv Jurel's fault? What is KL Rahul's fault? That you're being sarcastic.
No,
I have to deal with your sarcasm.
My cricketing sensitivities are such that a little bit of cricketing action and I get excited. So I've been excited of so much of rich cricket that I've seen 24 hours today, like even 48 I will say now. I watched highlights as well yesterday. It was such good cricket. Fine. India dominating.
You saw highlights?
That's what I'm wondering why.
I'm
thoroughly watching live.
Thoroughly entertained with the cricket.
Weren't you watching live?
So that also, like, you know,
after live you watched highlights.
Such good command of the match you had that I was tempted to go ahead and watch it again.
I myself from all the sarcasm that's on display by Harshit. No, because honestly, while you may talk about the relevance of the series, and I agree that it's been a bit of a drab fest, but I'm just saying, what about the 100 that Jadeja has got? And what about a 100 that a Jurel has got? Or a 100 that KL has got? I don't think you're being fair by being sarcastic to their performances. No?
I've been 100% authentic.
No, you're not.
Rich hundreds, yeah, all of them. Second one at home for somebody like a KL Rahul. The man just loves scoring outside of India otherwise. So there's a lot of context and a lot of depth to.
First home test century in 9 years.
Yeah.
Last was 2016.
3,000 plus days.
The same test that Karun got a 100. That was it.
Chennai.
Yeah. Since then, he's not scored 100 here. But the only other statistical oddity was it was a 61-year repetition, this particular test match, because exactly out on 100 KL Rahul, exactly out on 50 Shubman Gill, happened 61 years ago, 1964, against England at our very same Arun Jaitley Stadium. Budi Kundaran got 100 exact, ML Jaisima exact 50. Apart from
those are the only things that can keep some interest going.
I'm just going to say it's more interesting than some of the bowling I got to watch.
Of course.
I mean, the exception has been Jaden Seals. I think whatever I saw of him, he looked good. But I think only has 1 wicket to show overall. So just 1 wicket for Jaden Seals. But he did look good. He did look like the best of the bowlers. But I think predominantly there were only spinners bowling throughout, and India made merry. Though I will say that, and again in support of Jadeja and a Jurel as well as a KL Rahul, that see 100 is 100, and I think the one thing that really stands out is the fact that Dhruv Jurel gets out on 104, and many might say, oh, you've reached the 100, but the thing is that he did not play a bad shot or anything, he got out. My point being that imagine the margin between getting out and surviving is so fine that he could very well have been out at any stage of the game. So the meaning of 100 always remains, no matter what, at international cricket, even if you get it at an A level. And I think KL Rahul got that fantastic 100 just before coming into the series playing for India A. And I think that is what has helped him now get that 100 after a gap of 9 years at home. But again, the margin is so small, and the pitiful thing here is that the entire stadium is empty. Not too many people are watching the live broadcast, because nowadays you get to see the numbers as well. I'm just saying, in terms of the interest that we also see on our platform when people come out for the post-match analysis or other things, there haven't been too many takers. So I think therein lies the contradiction that getting an international 100 is tough, no matter what the conditions, no matter what the opposition, it's an international side. But yet, you will never get that sort of respect or viewership that a 100 at a test level deserves. And imagine for someone like me who was there in the middle of an Asia Cup where, like things were so hectic, and it was good cricket as well, close games, at least the final, nerve-wracking.
And the last Super 4's match as well.
India, Sri Lanka.
I mean, just the fact, even for Pakistan actually, when we were covering how they qualified, winning those 2 games versus Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, all of them were like close encounters. From there, and suddenly it is to this, And that's when you wonder, again, I'm not blaming the audiences for not maybe watching our analysis or probably not turning up for the stadium, but actually from that high, you make someone used to going on a roller coaster and he enjoys the thrill. Then you put them in a toy train saying, go around the circle in a very mild, soft sort of a speed. Obviously, that thrill will never be there. I guess that's what's happened.
You have to do something exceptional to get the award for the poor, or I would say the poorest planner of the year, and the BCCI has done it thrice now. For 3 years straight, they've just been all over the place. And last year it was Diwali. They kept a exhilarating India-Netherlands match that day. It was.
Well, that was good planning. They knew no one would watch.
Yeah, that was good planning. It's Diwali, everyone would be busy.
Exactly.
India match you're hosting, and the day of Diwali you're asking the Indian team to play.
India-Pakistan 2022.
Your pain coming out because you had to work on Diwali.
But we worked from home that day.
Yeah, but so we still had to work.
We had a TV show that day, I remember.
And nobody was happy about the fact that there was a match. But that only is something that's troubling you or for people who are in the broadcast or anyway associated
and the players.
with it. And to an extent the players. But I think by and large people were like mostly at home, right? What do you do at Diwali? Or mostly at home and somebody would have watched it, not watched it.
21 also remember the T20 World Cup match, correct me if I'm wrong, that too was on Diwali. India-Pakistan.
But it wasn't India-Pakistan in...
it was a couple of days ahead of Diwali.
There
it was on the 23rd of
Yeah.
It was in and around that time, that much I remember.
Yes.
This is good planning. See, I think this was a festive season and they saw this particular... No. I'm saying planning in terms
3 days of recuperation for the cricket fan. And from the highs of Asia Cup to the pits of the series.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's great planning in terms of the days that you've selected. The only problem is the opposition. This was a time that people were high on the cricket adrenaline. This was a Asia Cup victory. You could have, let's say, I'm just saying hypothetically, I don't know, if this was an India-Australia test match, there would have been, plenty of people who would have watched simply because these days are, holiday, long weekends, things like that. People have all the time to consume cricket. They're not consumed by work. They can pay all the attention. The fact of the matter is the opposition you chose and probably the format.
I mean, see...
It's been a tri-series.
Yeah.
In T20,
a white ball game would have definitely attracted.
So days are fine. Planning is fine. Yes, you and I had to work on, let's say, 2nd of October. That's fine. That's our problem. But from the point of view of the broadcaster in Indian cricket, great days. But the opposition and the format that you've selected after the high of Asia Cup, that is the problem. Yeah. That is what nobody is going to do.
Maybe what could have happened is you could have had the South Africa T20Is, ODIs, and then you would have had 4 back-to-back test matches when you have to look at it in that sense. South Africa first, then the West Indies, towards the fag end of the winter in India. But then again, you chose Ahmedabad now in a 130,000 stadium. Even when the BGT happened, by the way, there were about 20, 30. It still felt so empty. This is 2,000.
And the other issue, the choice of the stadium.
Yes.
I mean, if you're taking a small town where they don't get too much cricket and a smaller stadium, this is 1 lakh plus capacity. Let's say a 20,000 capacity stadium. At least it would have looked like there are some people, 1 or 2 stands would be packed. You could have had. In a massive stadium like that, if 1,000 people turn up.
There's one very interesting shot where they showed, I think it was Jadeja, he had a 4 or a big 6, and he's hit it into the part of the stadium which is empty. And then
which part of the stadium
99% of it. And so then after that, the broadcasters will just cut to a shot of the one part where they're fans and they're all going nuts. And I'm like, oh, there is so much cognitive dissonance going on over here. Because there are maybe 2 stands, 1 stand actually, if you think about it, that's full. The rest of it is just chairs. It resembles Manchester City Stadium, Pro Max.
It does. And see, that's the thing. Orange seats everywhere, blue seats, empty seats. 130,000 will do this to you.
We call that the empty heart. What are we going to be calling this?
Can't give it a slander name, my friend. We cannot.
Also be watchful.
Very watchful. Yes.
I'm not giving this a slander name.
We have to modify it.
Think of something else.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
We'll have to modify our thinking, isn't it?
Well done.
We have to do that. Because see, there's even...
With my name, I'm not making that joke.
Of course. But look, A white ball.
Why your name in specific?
Because he's biased.
Nobody
That's why.
Acha, bias.
Because of the M tag, the M word.
Oh, come
Minority.
on. No. So,
Now you're landing yourself. In
exactly. Thank you. Well done.
As if you had it.
I didn't. I chose my words.
You did.
I chose my words. But see,
You said modified.
modified, yeah. So,
How would you?
enough said. But then see, only red ball cricket you need to have. I mean, this is where I go back to Virat Kohli's suggestion, I think it was.
Yeah.
Keep it in 3 or 4 prominent centers.
But this will be one of the prominent centers.
Again,
I don't buy that. In fact, to the contrary, such series give to grounds which don't get cricket.
At all.
Then they'll turn up. If you keep it to the centers, then yes, when there is a big draw, India, England, India, Australia, then people will turn up for the series. Or if you ever have an India-Pakistan test series ever again in the future. I mean, just those series which can get you a packed house. Other than that...
see, use the likes of Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru only for India, England and India, Australia. Okay? Use India, Sri Lanka, India, West Indies for all the low centers like Indore, Ranchi, Lucknow, Rajkot. Although Rajkot did host the 2018
Guwahati.
test. Of course, Barsapara is hosting India, South Africa for the first time. But Rajkot did host India, West Indies. Bravo. It was an empty house there also in 2018 when Prithvi Shaw hit his century on debut there.
And the West Indies players would have probably thought they're playing in Lords.
They would have been playing in Jamaica for all I care at this end. Because see, that is the problem. Look, it doesn't make for very appealing viewing at all. I'm only seeing are we back in COVID times also? Was COVID also empty seats? Nothing. Chennai, empty. Ahmedabad was empty. What did you get out of it? It didn't make for good viewing. And 1,000 people, and many in Ahmedabad did not even know that there was a test match. That is the reports I got from. They didn't even know that there was a test match. That was the hype. Imagine the hype that was there. You're coming on 9 days of Navratra. That's the hype there, but you don't know that there is a cricket match that's going to happen.
In fact, Parthiv, local boy, had to, on the broadcaster, I saw that, had to actually appeal on day one to everyone saying that, listen, Navratri is over, Garba, Dandiya is over, please now come to the ground. He had to make that appeal, yet I don't think it's worked because he made that appeal on day one and it is day two. It's pretty much like that. And what is more surprising is on day one, West Indies are batting, so I thought, people will turn up. Let's not forget that their local hero in Shubman Gill is also there.
Yeah.
He's the captain of the franchise.
They have another local hero.
Bumrah.
No, they do, but correct. But I'm saying, like batters and batters. I also saw a lot of chatter on social media with people pointing out that, see, this is what happens with no Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, that sort of a thing. Though I'll agree that, okay, maybe, let's say Virat was batting, there is a possibility, few more people may have turned up, but it wouldn't have made a drastic difference because I think this series, especially coming right after adrenaline filled Asia Cup, suddenly to have a series like this would have had no interest, even
And
if you had Virat.
If we stick to the format of if we may say, a grueling England series where Test cricket you saw every match going to the 50th.
But also you played in England. And
sure.
Number of people they love their Test cricket, so they will.
And they have their centers where, come what may, they can be playing Test cricket against any nation. Those people turn up, so they like Test cricket. That's a whole different argument.
Exactly. But see, now you also need structure in Test cricket also when it has to be in India, because we and England are very disorganized when we look at it. Of course, Australia is held by the fact that, okay, it's played in a particular time of the year, every single time. But then, see, at least every test has a relevance. Perth or Brisbane will be the opening test. Adelaide is the ping ball test match. Melbourne is the Boxing Day. Sydney is the New Year's test. Some kind of relevancy, if you can add to any of the test center venues, that also will appeal.
Bigger relevance is needed for Test cricket. I mean, you can change relevance of the venue, doesn't matter. Again, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that. Maybe we'll do another thing. I think you really need a tier system. I've said it previously as well. I mean, you can have, okay, first match will be in this. Let's say you had like Boxing Day in Melbourne and so on and so forth. For this series after Asia Cup, who would have come? Wouldn't have come. Wouldn't make a difference. Anyway, let's turn our attention to the match, whatever. India leading by 286 runs.
Yes.
What do you think? The declaration will come overnight. So when you see tomorrow, it's going to be the West Indian batters that come out, or do you think India is still going to play for an hour or so, or whatever? I don't know.
Ideally, they should declare overnight because they've got a big enough lead. And West Indies, when you look at it, in the past couple of years, they have only survived a new ball spell. When you look at a spell of 15-20 overs with a new ball, they have only survived without losing a wicket only once. So you know how vulnerable they are. Plus the pitch is breaking up. You'll get Jadeja in the game very easily because you see now Kerry Pierre, Jomel Warrikan are all getting the turn and grip. So ideally they should declare overnight because 286 runs, big enough lead. Maybe if you want, now Washington Sundar might be eyeing a milestone, Jadeja double 100. Then bat for 1.5 hours of a session and then insert them in.
If you're going for Jadeja double 100, it's not going to come immediately. Then two sessions.
Two sessions you
Two
need.
sessions, yeah.
So
Correct.
T you go till tomorrow. How many runs will you get? 500.
That's the thing.
I don't see the point of getting to 500.
Exactly, ideally.
In fact, if I was looking at there being, if Jurel was also to be at the crease, also that dismissal came just at the stroke of stumps, I would say. Then anything between 250, 300 was good. Let both the set batters get to their hundreds. And looking at the opposition and taking into consideration how is it that they can play best of their abilities, etc., etc. Whatever, that declaration should have come. Also, it helps, just cricketing logic, if I was to apply, you have a team bat for 10-15 minutes and then you put them in, you challenge them to firstly survive those 10-15 minutes before stumps today, and then you ask the batters to come reset tomorrow. That makes for you, or that gives you a better chance of chipping away the wickets. Tomorrow, though, you give yourself that one chance right at the top where they'll be dealing with those jangling nerves. If they were to come with survival on their mind for the last 10 minutes, then that also plays into your hands.
So as we speak right now, there is a pitch inspection going on. The Indian team obviously inspecting the pitch. That includes the coaching staff, the entire coaching staff. Sutanshu Kotak, Gautam Gambhir, Mone Mocker, Anton Deshkate, all of them out there looking closely at the pitch. And obviously, I think the fact that they're looking at the pitch so closely is a sort of a indication that they may be looking to declare. I don't know when. The fact also, the way Washington Sundar came out right at the end and the way he was batting, quite trying to be aggressive, I think the message was sent to him that don't waste too much time, get runs quickly. So all indications suggest that India should be declaring. Having said that, how I read it, I think 286 is already good enough for India to win. It's not that they're in any trouble. And in that rare chance, let's say West Indies were to cross it also, I think it'll be a 50, 100, whatever. I think it should be easy for India. But as I see it, I feel India might come out and bat for an hour, which is basically, you want to have a total like 350 in mind because you don't want to be batting again.
Correct.
Just eliminate the chance of batting again. So they may look at a 350 sort of a lead, which is a psychologically quite a big enough total for the opposition to chase. And I think what really works is if you allow the team to just come on and bat from the first day, they're determined, they've spoken overnight, they're really geared up to let's start afresh. When you get them on the field for 1 hour and you bat aggressively, hitting a few fours, I think it just brings your morale down as an opposition as well. And then after an hour later, now come on, get batting. There is no end in sight, there is no goal in sight, the total is so much and you've also got a bit of a beating. So I think that strategically looking at it, not that India has to look at it strategically, I think they're so far ahead in the game, no matter what they do, they should win from here. But I think strategically maybe bat for an hour, just put them a bit under, let the shoulders drop a bit more, let the total get a bit more, and then just look to bat one day, I guess.
See, if the fact that they didn't give a decision at all, and even with Washington batting quickly, it seems pretty clear that they were looking to bat at least a little while longer. Now with the coaches coming out, looking at the ground, they are going to say, okay, potentially maybe an hour tomorrow. I think that would be it. You can actually declare right now also and it wouldn't make a shred of difference. It wouldn't. Because the batters they have are really going to be struggling in these kind of conditions. But yeah, I think 1 more hour and then tomorrow's a formality.
Yeah, I reckon they're going to do that. The other question, I don't know whether that has already hit the social media or not, or whether it's going to create a controversy, the Dhruv Jurel celebration.
I've been talking about it.
If we have to ask somebody with an army bag, is there any kind of a celebration done by any regiment?
That what he did was what you do through a salute as well. When you're giving a guard of honor, that is what he did.
It's the guard of honor.
With the rifle, basically.
With the rifle, yeah. I was just looking at
he
it.
He did that.
Okay, and then for attention in that.
There are these ceremonial drills that happen.
That is that, which I recognize.
Yeah, exactly. And then you
instantly.
plant it.
Yeah, but my point is not that. Whatever it is an would, I mean, in the atmosphere that we are in at the moment. I guess, this is just to take you back as to what happened in the Asia Cup, because, we shared those details on Sports Today. What I had learnt is that when, Sahibzada Farhan was asked about his celebration, it was a gun celebration, he did quote 2 previous examples, in fact 3, one of Sachin Tendulkar, Dhoni, Virat Kohli and Viv Richards. So he had quoted 3 where they had used this kind of celebration, saying that it has happened in the past. What happens now? But the only difference is that's how I see Jurel's celebration. The 2 important things which actually tell you that this doesn't come in the realm of where Sahibzada Farhan found himself. One, it is not against an opposition where you've had any sort of conflict. So clearly there is no suggestion from the batter where he's trying to take pot shots or anything like that. So it's against West Indies. That's one. So again, this cannot be equated to what happened with Sahibzada Farhan, and that is what my explanation was earlier as well when Sahibzada Farhan quoted examples of Dhoni and Virat. Virat, I think, did it in IPL. Clearly, there is no war reference there, and Dhoni did it against Sri Lanka. Again, India and Sri Lanka weren't at war, so that cannot be equated to what Sahibzada Farhan did. I think that has to be looked at. And similar in the case of now Dhruv Jurel, you're playing against West Indies where there is no issue as such. And secondly, and the most importantly, why they should not be made into a big controversy, because of the fact that Dhruv Jurel did it in a similar fashion, not exactly this, but versus England where he did salute his father.
His father was a former army man, no?
Yeah,
so he came up with this.
So he's done it before.
Yeah, I look at this being in line with that.
The only thing that he can borrow from Sahibzada Farhan, where he said that he comes from the region of Pakistan where they celebrate with guns. What Jurel can also say, because he said it's part of his culture. What Jurel can also say is part of his culture because he comes from an army background. So I think that's the only thing that he can borrow from Sahibzada. Nothing else. So I don't think it should become become a major controversy, but I won't be surprised if certain troublemaking YouTubers and elements and social media handles try and pick on this, especially from across the border. So
I mean, they should.
But that's why I wanted to make this distinction and make it very clear that why the 2 situations are not the same.
See, there is recorded proof that he did it in Ranchi. Okay, there is recorded proof even now. Okay. But you go to Sahibzada Farhan's previous 50 celebrations that he did prior to the one that he hit against India in the Asia Cup, there was none. He didn't do it back then. After the censure he got from the ICC, he didn't do it then. He was tempted to.
Yeah. He stopped
That's what I was going to say, is that he was
stopped himself short.
We all saw that.
this, and then he just pulled his back.
The wry smile on his face and that of his colleagues.
But actually nothing stopped others from doing it. I mean, there were enough aircraft gestures once again, from both sides. So that happened. Haris Rauf was doing it, Jasprit Bumrah did it. So
Everybody did
so
it.
Sahibzada Farhan might as well have done it too. Just saying.
And that would have been their only win in that match.
Yeah, but like previous match.
But I think that also missed the mark.
Yeah. That is a different debate. I'm just saying that both sides did it. Shivam, that if I start on that debate, I've done it
please
for
no.
like some,
No.
See,
takes like 2 hours now.
We were discussing cricket until now. Imagine, for 1 month we didn't discuss that much of cricket. That is the only thing this series has given us. We discussed a little bit of cricket.
We are talking about the health existential crisis of Test cricket. Has anyone cared about Dhruv Jurel's century in terms of the technical aspects of it?
No, I was going to
how
come
he's
to
done. Yeah, he's batted excellently.
That's what I was
Jadeja's
gonna
batted
come to.
excellently.
Word on KL Rahul first. We'll go one by one.
Shane, please.
Please take out in the meanwhile this year's calendar year average of Ravindra Jadeja with the bat.
Oof. England.
Anyway, let's start with KL Rahul.
I'll go first. Okay, great talk. I think he's finally managing to cement himself in the position which he's meant to be. He's finally got that long run over there. He had a few good knocks in England. I think now you're going to see the best of KL Rahul, the Test batter. You've seen very good knocks from him already, but they were very bits and pieces kind of scattered. It's like, okay, there was that one knock in South Africa, or there was few knocks in England, which he was kind of holding on to. It was like a buoy, where it's not like that is there. That's showing you that no, the potential is there. Finally, consistency, and see, it's not all his fault. I'll give him the full this thing that, he was either shuffled up and down, benched, and not really his fault.
Injuries.
Finally, he's getting a run. Yes, injuries too. So finally getting a good run and finally managing to deliver on the talent that he's had.
Okay, so you've taken KL. One of you will take Jurel, and one of you will take Jadeja to share with that. But I'll just add to KL Rahul one thing, and I had this thought that for KL Rahul's resurgence as an opener, we must thank a certain Rohit Sharma, because remember he missed that test match, the first test match in Australia. Otherwise, KL Rahul was slated to bat at number 6. He gets pushed to as an opener, has a decent series there, and then Rohit Sharma plays another role, because this is something again we reported that there were talks of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli going to England, but I think as far as I know that there was a whole chatter about again Rohit Sharma's sacrifice. Rohit Sharma apparently said that no, I'll go to England, give me 2 test matches, if I perform then I'll continue, if I don't I'll make way. Also again Rohit Sharma sacrificing his position in the final test match. Again, as I repeat, and I know this now 100%, that coach, chairman of selectors all told him, now play the last match, what worse can happen? You're not been in good form, what worse can happen, right? But if you play this test match, who knows, maybe good form maybe around the corner. So he was told, he said no, for the sake of the team, it's an important test match, we can save the series, I'm not in good form, I'll step aside. Then to England, where he said, I'll play 2 test matches, if I get runs I'll continue playing, if I don't I'll drop myself and allow someone to take it. And I think at that moment selectors said that no, listen, we can't be like taking calls for 2 test matches. Either you commit yourself to playing the full series or you sit out of the entire series. We can't have this situation where we go to the series. And I think the selectors were right in that, because Australia, one of the reasons why you lost after winning the first test match, because there was so much of confusion that happened in terms of captain coming, who's the captain, Bumrah is the captain. I told you Canberra things fell apart. So in all of this, I'm just saying it's all destiny, right? How things panned out. If Rohit had played that test match, maybe got runs, who knows if KL ever went back or not. I think this is a second coming of KL Rahul, and what a fine last few months he's had overall, whether it was the Champions Trophy, whether it was the IPL, whether it was the which he played after a big gap and got a massive 170 odd or something.
You chased 413.
Yeah, and what a record chase that was.
Yeah.
And from there to now take it to the test match.
Yes.
He's
Also
been in
becoming
fine
a father
form.
and all of this.
Yeah, I think since then,
Everything's been magical for him, and I'm extremely elated for the guy also, because he represents the Delhi Capitals as well, and I took him with arms wide open. He's been Mr. Consistent in the IPL. And yeah, what I really like about him being reinstated right at the top is the fact that there aren't any questions about his place in the team. That monkey is off the back, and that in a way is also courtesy the fact that the 2 stalwarts are no longer in the picture. That also elevates his stature in the team. He is now a senior statesman. He is now not second fiddle to a Rohit or a Virat or anyone. I said this yesterday as well. He said that on the England tour, there were so many of the young members of the team who had come to me to ask for advice as to how is it that he should be playing or they should be playing in moving conditions in England, and he really liked that, and he was able to impart whatever knowledge that he has. We saw a very good version of KL Rahul in England, and he's in a way just carried on from there. He never let off from where things were in England.
49.9 in 2025. That's his average.
in fact, just on that subject, KL Rahul has been the guy who's not now. Remember, he was the captain in waiting, the vice captain who's captained also in Test match cricket. He is not even the vice captain anymore. Your vice captain was Pant. Pant got injured, you've gotten Jadeja to become vice captain, but you've never gone to KL Rahul. But is what I hear, not only in England where youngsters were coming to him, and that's a great, he's still the player who I believe even ahead of this test match during the 2 practice sessions, he was the one that a lot of batters were coming to and speaking to even ahead of this particular series. So he still remains a senior member and a successful batter who a lot of other young players in this youngish team are consulting. So he's been the de facto person in the leadership role without having a designation and still contributing. I can think of a lot of Indian players, once you're removed from the leadership role saying, I'll take a step back, I'll just concentrate on my batting. He's not doing that. Not only is he getting runs, he's also imparting and sharing his knowledge, which is also super. Well done to KL Rahul. Yes, who are you going with?
I'll go with Jaddu because
Jaddu's average, we asked Shivam to take out his batting average for year 2025, 82.37.
82.37, and look at the scores that he had in England. Did not get dismissed at all in the second innings. He had 11, 25, 89, 69, 25 unbeaten, 69 unbeaten, 72, 61 unbeaten, 20, 107 unbeaten, and 9 and 53. In the final test only, he got dismissed.
Yeah.
That
Last
was his
innings, yeah.
unreal consistency, and he's continuing from that with a 104 that he's hit against the West Indies. I mean, he's now on the cusp of achieving 4,000 test runs and 300 test wickets. He'll be only the fourth to achieve it after Kapil Dev, Ian Botham, Daniel Vittori. That is the way how he's going about it. So Callis didn't take 300 wickets either. He got 292 wickets. So
Then the number of runs that he scored.
of course, 13,288 runs. That is 289. Sorry, 13,289 for Callis. But Jadeja, I mean, see, now this is the first series that he will be playing minus his spin bowling partner in Ravichandran Ashwin in India. I mean, imagine you have to go back to 2013, 2012 when both Jadeja and Ashwin didn't play together. 500 plus wickets in 49 tests in which they played together. Now he'll have to shoulder a bigger responsibility with the ball. He came under fire with the ball in England because he didn't do much. But with the bat, I mean, if you play Jadeja as a proper batter, you're only increasing your depth. England, some of the knocks that he played was sublime. Especially the Manchester one, wherein he totally took the game away with Washington Sundar in that final day, just blunted England out. And
I've been talking about batting there. Imagine if on a given day, India plays Aksar instead of Kuldeep Yadav.
oh, number 9.
Look at India's batting in Test match cricket. Insane.
I know.
Insane. You still have Nitish Kumar Reddy to come, and after that would have been Akshar Patel.
Aksar Patel. And Aksar Patel was your difference maker in the 2023 BGT. He was the one who won you the series.
Delhi in particular,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
match.
yeah.
That
That
match
partnership with Ashwin, 100
correct.
plus.
That without that partnership, you were losing that test. Your top order collapsed big time.
Yep.
So Akshar, the batter, is also much improved.
Yeah.
It's just that as in the white ball team, here also he finds himself blocked by Jaddu.
No, I mean, to be fair, this is the right team they've played.
Absolutely.
denying
No
it.
two ways
Kuldeep
about
needs
it.
to play ahead of him. Jadeja needs to play ahead of him. I'm just saying, on a given day, if you ever play Akshar instead of a Kuldeep, all the best to the opposition teams. Yes, who's going for Jurel?
I'll go for Jurel. What I'm really liking about Jurel, I think we've appreciated his technique enough over the last few months that we've seen him off and on in Test cricket. But what I'm liking is the fact that he knows he's merely a tenant in this 11. Once Rishabh Pant is available, he slots back into
Why
the
not
reserves.
as a batter? He's played as a batter previously.
Because again, you see those positions being occupied right now, and what he is doing and where he is doing, there could potentially be a slot at number 3. However, he's that batter who is establishing that reputation in other formats also as somebody who will play 5-6. So I doubt if the selectors are also looking at batting him right up top.
I think he has the technique to bat that.
He does, but I have a feeling you're looking at him as part of your lower middle order. Also, he's showing good nerves. Remember how he started out in that England series? It was he and Shreyas who played that played vital knocks as well. And he is now building this reputation of somebody who in a crunch situation can hold on to the nerves and can make an impact. So knowing all of that, and now he's getting all these runs as well, as somebody who knows he's second fiddle, I think this is exactly what other players oftentimes, knowing that they're second fiddle, fail to do, which is take that chance. So what he's doing is he's shutting out the door for everyone else. The Indian selectors will know that they need not look past a Dhruv Jurel if there is if you're looking at substituting or bringing in someone in place of
That will never happen.
Rishabh Pant.
No.
Exactly.
You know-
I think what Dhruv Jurel should be auditioning for, because see, Pant will always be your
Exactly.
Number 3.
for another batter in the. So anytime there is a drop in form somewhere, he needs to be looked at as a pure batter.
He should, I think he can go the Dravid way. Because remember when Dravid started out his test career, he came in at 6. His first initial tests were at number 5 and number 6 only, 1996. Later on, he made the shift to number 3 at the same time when there was a situation with number 3. Ganguly, after a couple of, I think 1 year later, they switched.
Ganguly
Yeah.
became 6.
Exactly. And for a brief period, Lakshman also went to 3 when Dravid was struggling with form.
See, in India again, there'll be always so many batters, and there is a Devdutt Padikkal as well, who's on the bench right now, who's somebody you've been backing for a while now. Shreyas has just made problems easy in a way by himself taking a couple of steps back from Test cricket. There is a Sarfaraz who's injured, but who you will be looking at. So there's already so many of these out and out batters that you're contesting with. The one time there is a bit of an opportunity, and that's the wicket-keeper slot, and this is probably something that Dhruv Jurel would like to
But again, see,
hold on to.
that door has been left ajar because Pant is injured.
Yeah, that's what.
Otherwise, you're not dropping Pant at all. Even if he's having a lean slump.
Absolutely.
Your only problem position is number 3. India have the puzzle piece right in front of them, but I don't know why they are not using it. Dhruv Jurel can be your number 3. Then imagine looking at if Nikhil has picked Akshar Patel. Imagine Dhruv Jurel at 3, Gill 4, Pant at 5, Jadeja 6, Washington Sundar 7, Nitish 8, Akshar 9. Even more good luck to the opposition to both, because see, Jurel has the technique. He can do well in seaming conditions also, given the chance. In Ranchi,
you remember ahead of the Australia BGT, he was your top batter in the A series.
Correct.
Before India started the BGT in those tough conditions which are bouncy, and I think they gave juicier pitches for that A series rather than when the BGT started. You got some batting pitches. There also he got runs, I remember.
Yeah, he got it in Allan Border and then he got it in Melbourne. He got those runs there before the start. Rahul had struggled incidentally in those A games.
He was just not looking the guy that he is right now. He's a pale shadow of himself.
An off spinner in Corey Rochiccioli gets him through the legs.
Of his, exactly, when he had no idea about his feet. Yeah,
exactly. So now I think you can slot in a Jurel at 3 and play Pant at 5. It works either way in that sense.
Yeah. We'll take, if you have any super chats, we'll take before we wind up for the day. 6:30 is when you do dugout. Let's do, I'm sure a lot of you would want to know about the Sana Mir controversy. Let us address that, whether an action can be taken. If it can be, what can be the action, or what did we make of that entire controversy? She has kind of apologized and not apologized too.
It's a non-apology.
Yeah, so all the different aspects of that at 6:45.
6:45. Okay.
I have another recording to do.
Okay.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shubham Garg is like saying, with Nick sir, with jingoism over, was Asia Cup dominating for us? Gill failed, Sanju iffy, no proper finisher, combination limbo with Dubey as second pacer. And also, didn't like the Sky interviews after coming to India. Sky needs to put head down, work on getting runs on slow wickets, always fails on such pitch.
I mean, maybe when we do just keep these two questions. I'll try and answer these two questions.
Second one you can answer right now.
No, this is quite related to what we're going to discuss.
Okay.
So, Shivam, what we're going to do is don't send a super chat. When we come live on our dugout, we will have these two questions and we'll answer these.
In fact, even Ashish you can add to that list.
Yeah.
Ashish, yeah, also.
Our
Ashish,
commentator
your
made
question
the
as
blunder
well.
first. Yeah.
Ashish, both your questions we've taken a note on, because our dugout is going to be on that subject. So don't send the super chat again. We'll save this. And when we take questions, this will be the first questions that we will take. The first 4 that we've had, or the first 5 or whatever. So that's that for now. All your questions seem to be related to that, which is why I thought of having a special dugout session today. At around 6:45 we'll be live. And we'll touch about every aspect, including Asia Cup, what happened, Surya Kumar Yadav's interview, what Sana Mir has done, right, wrong, everything.
Right.
Look forward to your company then.
Yes.
For the moment from all of us.
Yep, indeed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. See you at 6:45.